peroxide was used to initiate the reaction, and the absorbance was read at 540 nanometers. For superoxide dismutase, xanthine oxidase was used, and the absorbance, increase in absorbance was read at 440 to 460 nanometers. For glutathione peroxidase, it was determined using human hydroperoxide as a substrate, and GPX was determined kinetically at 340 nanometers for 6 minutes, every minute for 6 minutes. In determining glutathione, Elman's reagent was used as a substrate, and the activity of GSH was determined with deproteinized samples after monitoring the absorbance for 5 minutes, at 5 minutes for 30 minutes between 405 and 414 nanometers. For beta-glucuronidase activity after samples were vortex, centrifuged, and sonicated, phenolphthalein glucuride was used to initiate the reaction, and liberated phenolphthalein was measured at 540 nanometers. For bone determination, for bone mineral determination, bones were cut into pieces and ashed at 600 degrees Celsius in a muffle furnace, and ICP was used to characterize calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, zinc, and manganese. Which brings me to the results for the ACF study. Table 1 shows the feed intake, weight gain, in rats-fed control and selected diets containing cocoa and coffee in meal and in drink form. Overall, rats-fed coffee drink had higher feed intake in grams compared to rats-fed cocoa meal at the same concentration. However, rats-fed 10% cocoa drink and 2.5% coffee drink had higher feed intake compared to the control, and rats fed 10% cocoa meal and 10% coffee meal had lower feed intake compared to the control. For weight gain ranged from a high of 202 grams seen in rats fed 5% cocoa drink to a low of 122.33 grams seen in rats fed 7.5% cocoa drink. Table 2 shows cecal weight and cecal pH in rats fed control and selected diets containing cocoa and coffee in meal and in drink form. Cecal weight ranged from a low of 1.03 seen in rats fed 5% cocoa drink to a high of 1.9 seen in rats fed 10% cocoa meal compared to the control. Overall, rats fed cocoa meal had a higher cecal weight compared to rats fed any other treatment group. Rats fed the control diet, however, had the significantly higher cecal pH compared to rats fed the treatment group where no significant difference was observed. Table 3 shows the effects of diets and total number ACF incidence in colons of Fisher 344 male rats that control and selected diets containing cocoa and coffee in meal and in drink form. Now, attention, ACF is a preneoplastic lesion, as stated before, and this can evolve into colon tumors if left untreated. And attention is primarily paid to the distal section of the colon because of its relevance in human cancer. Now, overall, the proximal section had lower ACF incidence compared to the distal section. However, rats fed a control diet had significantly higher ACF incidence compared to rats fed the treatment diet. However, within the treatment diet, rats fed 7.5% cocoa meal had higher, significantly higher ACF incidence compared to rats fed 5% cocoa drink. Figure 1 shows total aberrant crypt foci in cocoa-fed groups. Overall, rats fed the control diet had higher ACF compared to rats in the treatment groups. However, rats fed 5% cocoa drink had lower, significantly lower ACF compared to rats fed cocoa meal at the same concentration. Figure 2 shows total ACF in coffee-fed groups. Again, we see that rats fed the control group had significantly higher total ACF incidence compared to rats fed the treatment group. However, within the group, rats fed 2.5, 5, and 7.5 coffee drink had lower ACF compared to their counterparts fed coffee meal at the same concentration. 3 shows the reduction in total ACF compared to the control. Now, percent reduction in total ACF compared to the control ranged from a low of 30% seen in rats fed 5% cocoa meal to a high of 65% seen in rats fed 5% cocoa drink and also 7.5% coffee drink. However, rats fed the drink, cocoa and coffee in drink form had significantly higher, was able to significantly reduce the amount of ACF compared to rats fed cocoa and coffee meal at the same concentrations. For the enzymatic